Hi guys, I'm Sean. This is Alyssa. Gus is upstairs. And this is Internet Rabbit Hole Daily. And we are back with a little bit of an update. As you guys know, we put out a video just the other day, in fact, just yesterday, about an alleged, I guess, murder plot. The name of our video was, let's see here. We called it Alleged Sinister Murder Plot. And it turns out that there's some new information coming out and things maybe aren't exactly what they appear to be or appear to be. And
okay,
so
we kind of went into it pretty blind.
We went into it totally blind.
Yeah, and we were probably really biased.
Well, you know, we were...
I don't know. Like, I'm just so... I can get pretty far down into, like, conspiracy land in general. So then when I hear something like this... and it has to do with like the government being up to no good, sometimes I just sort of jump on that bandwagon because I personally don't trust the government with like certain things. So I fall victim to that sometimes. So we're trying to be...
And for me, it was a lot simpler than that. It was, I have friends on Instagram from India that send me great content, all sorts of stuff to react to. One of my Indian friends sent me some stuff and said, hey, you should check this out. And we checked it out. And it was that simple. And then we were getting some people in the comments sort of saying a few things. For example, Experiment Nation said, this is all fake propaganda. Anyone can come out and say anything. It doesn't mean that it's true. Tomorrow, the government can also come out and say that farmers will commit violence on Republic Day, but it doesn't mean that it's true. Your videos are very biased and one-sided. I get that you are trying to cater to your YouTube audience, but still, I feel like as a neutral party, you should show both sides equally. So that's what we're going to do here today, guys. We're going to take a look at the other side of the story here. Be Logical said in the comments, that's all a big lie. Farm leaders are playing dirty tactics just to defame government, and a few farmer community playing the victim card. Not good. Don't believe this shit, man, is what he has to say. And then actually a big shout out to Shri A, who actually was the one who provided us with a few links with some of these developments here. He said, here is the latest news on that issue. Did you ponder why farmers were reluctant to hand over the masked man to police? Put this news too. Investigations are going on. Don't be judge and jury in your reaction. Farmers abducted me, forced me to lie. Ooh, according to this masked man, he changes his tune in confession before the Haryana Police. So I kind of, let's check this out. Yeah, so there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, we really didn't. We kind of were just reacting to like the initial breaking news, the thing that had happened, and it had just sort of happened. So of course there's going to be explanations that come after that, and yeah, we need to find the truth. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, the whole time we were talking about alleged and saying we don't know anything. This was just sent to us. We're just figuring this out together. So sort of on the same, along the same lines, that's what we're going to do today. But we're going to take a look at a slightly different side of things here. So I'm going to start with this video. Now, it's not entirely... Bless you, in English. Right. So we'll watch just sort of the first part, and then I'll jump over to a couple of articles where I can read some of the specifics here. So we got to go to the beginning of the video.
Who was paraded by farmer unions yesterday in a press conference, saying that he was given a shoot job, a contract job to kill 4 farmer leaders. Well, he's now been identified by the Sonipat police, where he's currently being questioned. He has claimed in custody that he was framed. Now, that's the big breaking news that is now coming in custody. He says that he was being framed and that he was abducted by the farmers. He was thrashed there by the farmers for 5 long days, where he was forced to confess, is what he says. He says that he lied to save his life.
मैं सोनीपत का योगेश सिंह.
Now, unfortunately, we're not going to have a chance to understand what he's saying, so I actually have another article here.
But holy crap, though.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I don't know why he would. If his confession to police isn't true, like, I don't know why he would lie.
Let's take a look at that, because like I said, we couldn't hear what he was saying there. So I've got another article that sheds some light on this.
I don't know why he wouldn't have done the first thing.
Okay, so let me read this to you. It says, in a sensational disclosure, the masked man who appeared in a press conference along with farm leaders to allege that he'd been asked by the police to unleash violence on the farmers on the 26th of February outside Delhi has confessed to the police that he lied in the press conference about an alleged attack against farmers. Opindia has learned that Yogesh is a cook and his mother works as domestic help. He has no arms and ammunition and has nothing to do with any crime. A person identified as Yogesh who was detained by the Haryana Police on Friday after he had claimed that he was part of an attack team to shoot farmer leaders said that he spoke in the press conference against police officials after he was threatened by farm leaders. Making a shocking disclosure, Singh said that farm leaders had warned of killing him if he did not make false conspiracy theories of attacks on farmers and blame Haryana Police for the same. In the video accessed by Opindia, which is the one that we couldn't understand, the masked man could be seen making a confession saying, "My name is Yogesh, a resident of Sanapat, was traveling to Pinipat from Delhi on January 19th. I came across protesting farmers near Narela on the same day when I was returning back. As he encountered the farmers, I saw a few people misbehaving with ladies near the protest site." Further, the masked man, aka Yogesh Singh, said that he informed a few protesters regarding the incident who mistook him for the misbehaving youth near the protest site and picked him up to the camp. "The farmer leaders hit me initially, removed my clothes, hung me on top of a trolley to further beat me up on that day," he said. On the next day, the farmers' leaders visited Yogesh Singh and instructed him to do whatever they asked him to do. The farmers also allegedly warned him that he has to face severe consequences, that he was going to face severe consequences if he failed to follow his orders.
Is this summed up from his confession, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Just writing it in third person.
So according to Yogesh, there were 4 more men along with him who were detained by the protesters at the Singh border, and one of them identified as Sagar. Yogesh, without naming any farmer leader, said that the farmers again approached him on January 19th night and offered him food and liquor. The next day, the farmers shockingly confessed to having killed the other 4 people who were detained along with Yogesh Singh. So he's saying he was really afraid, obviously, if he thought the other guys had been killed. The farmers' leaders again brutally beat me up on the following day and threatened to kill me if I didn't agree to follow their instructions. Now, I'm kind of mangling this just a little bit, but we're getting the gist here. Out of a fear of getting killed by the farmers' leader, Yogesh Singh agreed to do whatever the farmers forced him to do. When Yogesh Singh tried reaching out to the police, the farmers' leader said that they would kill him in such a way that it would be difficult to find his dead body. In a sensational claim, Yogesh Singh said one person who was severely hit by the farmers was in a very critical condition, who was later shifted to a different place by the protesters. After beating and threatening Yogesh, the farmers' leaders asked Yogesh Singh to falsely claim that he was part of an attack team to shoot 4 farmer leaders and cause disruption during the January 26th protests outside the national capital. And okay, so actually there's some more interesting stuff here. So it says, Yogesh Singh, who appeared as a masked man, came out in public on January 22nd to claim that he was part of an attack team that was sent by Haryana police officials to disrupt the farmers' protest. Continuing to reveal more details, Yogesh Singh said that farm leaders told him to accuse a police officer named Pradeep Ray. Pradeep Ray Police Station for plotting the conspiracy against the farmers. Because I remember when he said the name of the police officer, both of us were like, we were pretty shocked at that point.
Oh,
now,
in the video?
Here's the interesting thing. It says it's important to note that Haryana Police said there is no person named Pradeep at that particular police station in Haryana, as claimed by the masked man. So apparently this Pradeep doesn't even exist according to them.
Where are you now? Because I lost my spot.
Yeah, I was just sort of finishing up over here. So here we go. Following the warning, Yogesh said he came in front of the press to make false accusations against police officials as instructed by the farmers' leader at the Singhu border. The farmer leaders had allegedly promised to release him from their captivity after he made the public statement, accusing the police of, making that plot there. Wow. So I guess not all is exactly what it seems here. So they're saying that the police officer that he said, was the man behind the sort of conspiracy. That person apparently doesn't exist. Wow. So there's a lot going on here. Now, the other thing that someone else sort of brought up in the comments was that he wasn't being paid a whole lot, allegedly, to carry out this particular disruption. This, as they say here. So I'm trying to remember. He put one of our listeners put the amount into Canadian dollars, and I think it was something like 245 Canadian dollars or something like that.
Oh,
so they
like
weren't paying him a whole lot to kill people.
Ridiculously low amount. It just didn't. It doesn't add up.
There's
That's horrible though. Like,
there's a few other things though that are maybe
don't-
worth mentioning here. Let's make sure this is a
Okay.
different article.
Does he say which area of the protest?
It was near the Singu border, as I understand it. Yeah, it's just, this is really interesting. It just says that there's no police inspector named Pradeep, either in the Ray police station or the whole district.
And that's who he was saying in his like original, when he was masked. He was saying that he was ordered by that
remember they
police
said that they
officer.
never saw his face,
So
but they
then
maybe
that's
saw his
fake.
badge. That kind of seemed a little strange to me. And actually, here's a more succinct way of sort of summarizing why this guy got sort of tied up in all of this. So it says that he's from Sonapat and unemployed. He had an argument with the protesting farmers over allegations of eve teasing. Now, I didn't even know what eve teasing was. I had to look that up. And that's basically like sexually harassing women. So I think that basically what happened is that, according to him anyways, was that he was accused of eve teasing, so, harassing some women, and then the farmers took him, beat him up, and said, hey, by the way, you're going to have to now, be part of this plot that we're putting together where you're going to have to pretend as if you've been hired by the government, et cetera, or hired by the police, rather. So it's very strange. This is the sort of the latest thing that's happening right now.
It's really horrible to put someone in the place of lying and making false claims for your behalf and fighting dirty, basically, and like having propaganda. Like, if you're accusing the government of having propaganda, and then if you're just going to do it yourselves, then like, I don't know what to believe, but I'm not just going to be...
we're looking at all the sides. Once again,
I'm not
one
saying...
of our fans has sent us some information, and we're
I'm
looking
not,
at it.
I'm not saying, like, oh, all the farmers now, like, I don't support them, but, like, if there were, in fact, like, a group of farmers that intentionally, like, had someone lie for their cause and make false claims, and also just put that guy's life in jeopardy, because he's in custody, he's arrested, and it's like,
this is
okay. It's like, okay, say he was harassing a female or something, or did some horrible thing. I just don't think that justifies like making a propaganda thing and report him, put him in jail. He has to suffer consequences for that specific crime.
Here's
but
the
don't,
interesting thing,
use
Alyssa.
that person.
This is what they said, is that the farm leaders actually hesitated to hand over the masked man. They had demanded that Haryana Police not take any action against him. They also asked the police not to treat him harshly, raising eyebrows about the reality of the alleged conspiracy of an attack on the so-called farmers. I heard someone else sort of say, hey, if you got a guy here who is plotting to kill 4 leaders, that's like terrorism. I mean, he's got to go to jail for good. And so they were a little bit, put off by maybe the farm leaders not being as keen for the police to take him away.
Because I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible, okay? And sometimes within certain causes, like, you have some, and I don't know what the truth is, but like with any, say there's like a peaceful protest or peaceful cause, or like someone's fighting for their rights and you got a big group of protesters, we've seen this happen where there's like some people just go a bit corrupto, and then they break stores, they break they like light fires, and they do all this like stuff. So I'm just saying, like, maybe there's like, I don't know, it's just a weird thing. But like, if what was I gonna say? Okay, if they were like, oh no, treat this man nicely, it's like, well, but if they did in fact like make him lie and stuff, then I don't think they would want him to be brutally, like, that's where it's also like, okay, well, that doesn't prove to me that that didn't happen, that couldn't have happened, that the farmers somehow coaxed this guy into lying. I don't want to believe that ever happened. I don't want to believe it, but I have to go off like, it's like, well, it's
what
just
makes
weird
most sense, I guess.
On.
I mean, we don't really know right now. Now this is
I don't know. Anything's possible though.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the government could just be totally in conspiracy land, and maybe they hired the guy in to make the farmers look better. Or I guess that couldn't happen because the farmers had him talk. But okay, like I just thought like anything's possible, and I don't want to believe at all that like any farmers had any they had any doing in sort of like having someone make a fake, like I hate the propaganda fake stuff. Like if you're going to accuse the government of doing that, but then you do it yourself, then it's like, then you're untrustworthy as well. Right. So
it's not, we just hope that we can find out the truth here, and maybe you guys have some insights here. There was something else I wanted to add here though, was that in the video that we saw there, where the masked man, at least this was the other day actually, the one with the masked man talking and he's with all the farmers and stuff, says here in this article, it says, interestingly, at 1:20 mins at 1 minute and 20 seconds into the video, the speculated farmer killer fails to recall his plot to kill the farmers in the middle of the press conference, who was then aided by farm leader Rakesh Tikate by reminding him of the intricate details of the alleged plot to kill farmers. So they're saying that it's kind of strange that this guy forgot that, and then the farmer leader had to sort of remind him, oh, hey, remember, tell him about the, 4 people. So it seems a little strange. I don't know, but was he so nervous? Was he so embarrassed and ashamed that he didn't want to admit to it?
I don't know. Because like things like that have happened in court, right? When you're trying to get someone to like lie on the stand when they're testifying, and you're like, or I don't know, I've just seen this in movies probably, but you're like trying to incur, like, I don't know. It's like, what do we think is more likely? I don't know the truth, but
what do you guys think?
At this point, I don't know. I'm kind of disheartened because it just, I don't know. It does look a little bit shady. It looks a little bit weird on the farmer side, and I'm just someone who it's like, I am not gonna like, and again, it's not like all farmers are like so maybe there's like a few people that took it too far, like a few people that took it too far, right? But I'm not someone who's just gonna like support every single person of one, like everyone's an individual in a cause. I don't like group everyone together and be like, oh, now that happened, like all the farmers are bad, or like, oh no, I'm just like that couldn't have happened because all farmers are good.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying here, is because I don't care to be hated in the comments. Like if you disagree, and it's like, there's no way that they would ever do that. And
we don't know. We don't know. We're just sort of reading stuff. I don't know the validity of any of this stuff. These articles, this is all alleged. Once again, just stuff that you guys have been sending us that we're just looking at and sort of giving our dumb reaction to. So,
exactly. It is important to look at the other side and stuff. And like, because I don't want to be biased, and it's like, it's hard for me to even, I don't like picking a side ever, but it's like so healthy to look at everything too. And still, you don't have to pick a side. You can look at both sides, and you can just be like, oh, well, I sort of feel this way, but like, I still don't know. And this is what I would say to sort of bring things full circle and sort of, tie this off here. And that is that even if all of this is true, and that the guy was beaten up by the farmers and coerced into all of this sort of stuff, et cetera, it still doesn't change my opinion on the farmers fighting for their rights, and that this is something righteous that they're doing. It doesn't change the fact that they're still fighting for a cause that is righteous. Yeah, and I still think that.
So you might have a few, as they say, bad apples, allegedly.
Bad apples,
but at the end of the day, by and large, the vast majority of farmers are just out there fighting for their rights.
We support, farmers fighting for their rights.
And aren't doing anything shady at all.
This is sort of like detached from that. It's like sad that it's like this has nothing to do with like the, well, it does,
I guess. It could reflect potentially poorly on the other people.
It's plain dirty. Like you can separate, like, I still want farmers to fight for their laws in that, and then I don't know, I'm just confusing myself, but like, it's so sad, because if that happened, then it, like the farmers had already had like the media, or I guess the mainstream media or whatever, there was like this negative picture being painted of they're this like terrorist group, they're a violent, like, separatist movement, or all these other types of things. And now, if this is true that this happened, it just makes the And now it just paints that protest like they're no matter what they're gonna be like
it's not a good look, as the kids would say.
It's a really bad look, obviously.
So,
and
you know what? This is once again, you guys keep sending us stuff. We'll keep checking it out. We don't know anything. This isn't a news channel. We just are very interested in some of these things that our Indian friends are sending our way. If you guys want to keep on top of this stuff moving forward, then I'm going to ask you to click that subscribe button. Click the little bell icon. Choose all from the drop-down menu so you can get updated every time we upload a new video.
If you enjoyed this video, please let us know by clicking the thumbs up button. And yes, like
let us know what you think, guys. Like,
comment links, because it's really good for us to get links, especially of like the other side and stuff like that. Like
that's right.
Things like in English and stuff, like it helps us to.
We're always learning
that sort of stuff.
So we'll see you guys next time. This is Internet Rabbit Hole Daily. IRH signing off.
Bye.
Bye, guys.